listening to We Watch Movies.
I'm Ava.
And I'm Jenna.
And we watch movies. And this week we watched To All the Boys, Always and Forever. We thought it was timely because it was Valentine's Day. Even though now it's a couple days post-Valentine's Day. But if you are a true loyal subscriber, you will have watched my Valentine's video, which is just a train wreck of me being a basket case. But if you haven't, go check that one out. In the meantime, let's talk about To All the Boys, Always and Forever. Now, Jenna, I'm under the impression that you did not see either of the first two movies before this week. Or before you made your first video about it.
No, I watched both of these movies in the past, 48 hours.
So you were like a To All the Boys virgin prior to this.
If that's the only term we have for it, then yeah.
So I like to consider myself a Netflix teen rom-com circa 2018 to now expert, because I have watched them all, because I get lonely sometimes. And Jenna here is the book expert who has read the first book. And yeah, so I don't know, Jenna, what were your initial thoughts on this masterwork of a movie?
I didn't think it was anything too special. I mean, it was nice. It was better than I thought it was going to be. But it's something that a couple hours after having watched it, it's kind of already faded from my mind a little bit. It didn't leave anything too lasting.
I think as far as teen rom-coms on Netflix go, this is definitely the best series of them, because Kissing Booth is just and I really don't like the characters in Kissing Booth. I don't consider Sierra Burgess a rom-com. I consider it a horror movie about a sociopath. And then same goes for After. That's a horror movie as well, both of them. I know that's Wattpad Studios, not technically Netflix Studios, but still, that makes it all the worse. So if you're looking for a teen Netflix rom-com, To All the Boys is definitely the series that you should look for, because, well, I think that the characters are the most I don't want to say attractive, because I don't mean actual attractiveness, but I don't know, charismatic? Would that be the term?
Emotionally attractive. They actually have depth and, character arcs and do more things than just the romance.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are specifically just trope characters. I don't think any of them are, none of them fit a stereotype to a T. They're not one-dimensional in any way. I feel like all of them have their own stuff going on, and there was thought put into them, which is cool. The first one was really nice. The second one, it hit home too much, and that's all I'm gonna say about that one, because it's not for the reasons that you would expect. And then this one, I think, was nice, except it had a very similar conflict to Kissing Booth 2.
I was gonna say that as someone who watched, the two movies, kind of back-to-back, but not really, the conflicts in the third movie and the second movie felt a little similar. Or not even the conflicts, but just, the overall structure of the movie. Laura Jean does something. She makes a mistake in communication, doesn't fix it right away, things get worse, people break up, then they get back together again, and then the movie ends and it's all happy.
Yeah, and then the conflict, the other sort of spectrum of the conflict in this movie that I was thinking was similar to Kissing Booth 2 was, in Kissing Booth 2, the whole thing is about, it's the main girl, Elle, and she is applying to college, and her boyfriend's already in college, but he's across the world at Harvard, and she's fallen in love with Berkeley, but her boyfriend wants her to look at Harvard and stuff. because they want to be close together and don't want to do long distance, even though they already did long distance for a year and it kind of worked out. But then like the whole thing is, oh, I don't want to be far away from my super hot high school boyfriend for the rest of my life. And yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that I feel like was like super similar. I don't know if The Kissing Booth was based off of anything. I know that these movies were based off of books, and I don't know which came first, Kissing Booth 2 or the book, To All the Boys, Always and Forever. But yeah, I don't know. I think that was my main problem with it, is I just feel like the conflict was overdone. But like, there's only so many conflicts you can do when your characters are seniors in high school. It's always going to end up being about college.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of frustrating. Can we not have a romance that, like, always focuses on, like, oh no, the characters are going to college? Because I feel like often times, like, most people, like, reading or watching or, like, whatever form of entertainment it is that's dealing with, like, seniors in high school, like, in a romantic relationship, for the most part, they're not, like, looking to see if they actually make it all the way. They're kind of just, like, in that moment, they just want to see the couple happy. They don't really care about beyond high school. Most, like, high school romance things are generally just, I feel like people, like, enjoy them because they just like being in that mindset of, like, it's just high school. So, I don't know, I just find it really weird when they always throw in, like, the college thing, like, oh no, we can't do long distance because that's too hard, when it's like, you could literally FaceTime each other, like, all day. And it's like, now we're in this year-long quarantine situation where we're all doing long distance, so you have no excuse anymore.
Yeah. I can't speak for anybody who is in a high school relationship, because I have never been in a high school relationship.
Same.
Okay, welcome to relationship talk with two people who have never been in a relationship. But yeah, I mean, they kind of talked about a similar idea in The Last Summer, I believe it was called. I don't know. That movie I felt was very forgettable because I didn't finish it. Maybe if I finished it, I would have liked it more, but I didn't, unfortunately. But that's another Netflix teen-centered movie, and it's about these seniors in high school have their last summer before they all go to college, and there was these people who had to break up because they were like, I don't want to go into college with a boyfriend from high school, which I get. I mean, I don't know if I feel like I wouldn't want to go into college with a high school boyfriend, unless I was, like, so sure that it was right, or that I really, really liked that person. Which, I mean, I know that Lara Jean and, Lara Jean and Peter really like each other. So I don't know how they feel in their heart of hearts. And I know Lara Jean is very romantic, and I guess Peter is a closeted romantic. Well, actually, no, he's not closeted. He is a super romantic. He just sucks at it sometimes.
He just needs practice, you know? Maybe not. But I
don't know. Yeah, he did a lot of nice stuff.
That is true. He definitely became better boyfriend material as the series went on. Like, in the book, I feel like he was a lot better. Because it also just felt more like a high school thing, too. And then when I was watching the movie, I was like, I don't really like you in the movie now. But I came to tolerate him later on, but... I don't know. I chose not to read the rest of the books because I knew that I would have to talk about the movie, and I didn't want to be biased in any way, and I wanted to just discuss the movie. But now I'm curious to see what the books were like, and it's like, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah, personally, I am a big proponent of movies being able to stand alone from the source material, mainly because I don't have the time to read whole books, or the patience. But yeah, so I don't know. I think this movie works if you're not looking, I mean, it's not a masterwork, as the guy from that other movie that we watched once said. I'm really good at being specific. But anyways, I think it was nice. I like the casting because they did. I mean, some of them did feel like older than they were meant to be, but you're always gonna get that. I did feel like it was a lot better than in some movies. You'll see like these actors look like 800 years old when they're supposed to play like 16-year-olds. But so every once in a while they kind of like get it right, and it's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty bad with casting because that's something like I don't always consider. And I mean, I don't have any sort of acting credit, so I mean, I don't know. I've mentioned this before, like I can't really like pick out like what makes a good actor and whether or not someone fits a role unless it's like done really bad. But I thought they did a good job with casting, and it was believable enough as high schoolers. Like there were definitely some times when I was like, this really isn't high school. Like, where were the chaperones, Ava?
Oh, okay. That bothered me because they were like, oh, we're splitting up into these chaperone groups. You can't switch groups, like, don't you dare. And then they were just kind of wandering the city by themselves. Like, they weren't in any sort of group at all, which I was like, okay, why are you going to make a big deal about chaperone groups and you're not actually going to make any chaperones exist? But while we're on the topic of casting, the stars of this movie are Noah Centineo and Lana Condor. I don't know anything else that Lana Condor has done. I know that Noah Centineo has been in, like, every Netflix teen rom-com ever. He was in this, he was in Sierra Burgess, he was in The Perfect Date, he was in some other one. I think it was about surfing. I didn't watch it, though. But I know him first. The first time I saw him was in The Fosters when he replaced Jake T. Austin. I don't know, I didn't like him then because he was replacing Jake T. Austin. But that's okay. It's fine. he's doing okay for himself now, which I respect. I don't know. I feel like the best thing that you can get in an actor, though, is when you kind of forget that they're an actor. It's like, it's sort of what I say, or words. It's sort of what I said once about the soundtrack. How like the best soundtrack it should be memorable, but in the same way you shouldn't notice it, I guess. And that's kind of like what I think about performances by actors in movies. It's like it should be memorable, but you shouldn't notice it. You know, like in the way that you should be so drawn into the character and so believing in this character that you forget that it's even an actor, you know?
Yeah, like a good movie takes a lot more thought to piece together how you feel about it and everything that it does than a bad movie, because a bad movie doesn't really try to come together seamlessly, but a good movie kind of like, it could be something that's happening like right in front of you, and it takes you a while to like put together everything exactly that's being done. And I don't know where I was going with that thought and how it relates to this movie, but this movie didn't do a bad job of just directing and acting and making proper decisions as an art form. It didn't do anything particularly special, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know, I can't speak words. I'm sorry, you guys. This is just like not my day. There was this one scene in this school when they were like walking through the hallways, and it was decorated with all these paper cranes, and it was so pretty, and I was like, okay, that's a little unbelievable. Not to mention that, like, how, I don't know where I was going with that thought. I disagreed with myself as I was speaking. Does that ever happen to you? Do you ever start saying something and then you disagree with yourself as it's coming out of your mouth, so you stop saying it?
All the time, Ava. You've heard me in other discussions. Like, there is no coherent thoughts ever. Just regret.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think they definitely had their cute moments. But honestly, the thing that's like a trope that makes me really, really angry, like one of the ones that makes me the most angry in the entire world, is when a character has something to say to somebody else that's important and they don't say it. Like, they'll put it off, they'll be like, oh, it's not the right time, blah, 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 and then they'll put it off, and I just want to, like, slap them in the face. And literally, like, at that moment that she texted him, of course I love you, when he asked if she got into Stanford, immediately you text, wait, wrong person. Immediately. That's the first thing that you do.
Like, it's literally so easy to just like, oh shoot, wait, I didn't mean to send that to you. Like, it's awkward, but like, you're not even facing that person. You're just texting.
Yeah, literally just, like, it's like, of course I love you. Wait, no. Oops, wrong person. I still love you, but I didn't get it. Just a bunch of frantic texting. That would have been better than going to the diner and letting him believe that you were going to the same school for so long until literally you get to New York. Like, that's a bit long of a wait to tell him.
Yeah, that was... Oh boy. That's like my least favorite trope, to kind of have like that whole like liar revealed thing, because it puts unnecessary stress on the viewer when it's not even necessarily what the characters are feeling or what the movie wants you to feel, and it just gets frustrating because you know exactly how they're going to play it out. And in this movie I was like, can we please just have a discussion about something ever and not let some random rom-com hijink happen? Like, please save me.
Literally. And then there's, okay, so then there's the whole issue with the chaperones again. It's like these people were in New York and they were able to just walk out in the middle of the night, and then so that was real. I guess this is the romance version of plot armor, their ability to go gallivanting other places. So they're not exactly, like, the characters aren't exactly getting murdered and stuff in this kind of genre. So that kind of application of plot armor wouldn't really work here. But just their ability to just go to a party on a school trip or something, or just leave their hotel room to go out to this cute little bakery. Like, oh, the chaperones are all getting wasted. No, the frick they aren't.
Yeah, that made me so bad. Like, no. Like, that's just been a staple throughout this whole franchise of the chaperones are just conveniently not there when things are happening on field trips. Like, every movie, there are no chaperones ever.
Yeah, like, I mean, sort of the same thing happened with the ski trip, with people being able to go to each other's rooms. Like, okay, remember when our school went to Disney and they taped our doors because people were sneaking out? They taped our doors to make sure that we weren't leaving our rooms, because they would check if the door was, like, if the tape was broken. That's how they made sure that we weren't leaving our rooms. And you don't understand, like, if you're an adult and you're put in charge of all of these kids, I'm not even an adult and I know this is true. Like, you're put in charge of a bunch of high school seniors and you are literally on the opposite side of the country. Do you know how stressed out you would be about losing a child?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't, it's your job.
Like, okay, they would not be getting drunk on that trip. Literally, like, same thing with the ski trip. Like, you have a bunch of rowdy teenagers in somewhere that's not their home, and they're all sleeping together in rooms. I mean, same gender, but still, like, that doesn't really matter, because they're gonna find their ways. And, I don't know, it's just like, the teacher would be so stressed out, because if one of those kids goes missing, they lose their job, they get in legal trouble, like, literally so many problems come from them if they decide to go get drunk and then a student gets hurt or something. So I don't think that any chaperone on a trip that big would be getting drunk enough to let these kids leave. It bothered me so much.
Yeah, and also, I just want to say, like, these are two kids that have, like, never been in New York City, and they're just going out in the middle of the night, like, alone. And I'm like, what? How do you know where you're going? What are you doing? Does this even seem fun to you? And, like, they go to a random party, like, a random college party, they steal someone's couch, kind of. It's like, what?
I don't think you
How?
would ever be... You know what would have happened with that couch thing? They would have tried to push it into the subway and it wouldn't have conveniently fit. And then they would have, like, caused all sorts of problems for that freaking subway. You can't just bring couches onto the subway. That's not how it works. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't live in New York. But it probably wouldn't have fit.
Yeah, I don't know. And, like, the whole thing with, like, students, like, going out after a curfew, like, if you do get caught, like, what if you get expelled or suspended or some sort of, like, punishment? Because why? Like, I know that, like, on the trip that you were talking about, like, I didn't go, like, anywhere, ever. Like, most of the time, I fell asleep before they even came around to tape the doors. Or I was just reading.
Okay, it would... See, I think it's safe to assume that Lara Jean is a rule follower, and in this sense, as a rule follower, it would be so stressful to do something like that. I think both of us are kind of in the same boat as Lara Jean in terms of being, like, kind of goody two-shoes, liking rules, liking structure, probably kind of judging people who don't follow the rules. I don't know if you're judgy. I'm judgy. But, like, I if somebody was like, hey, listen, the chaperones are definitely not gonna see us. There's this really cool place, like, literally next door to our hotel. Let's just leave after curfew. I'd be like, no! That's scary!
I'd be like, can I see it from the window? Because that's the only way I'm seeing it.
Like, I would be like, no, like, let's not. Like, the most freedom I had from an advisor on a school trip ever was, on a Model UN trip. We went to this big conference, and they were in a hotel that was literally physically attached to a mall, and we were given permission to go in that mall and go around and eat in that mall, like, whatever restaurant we wanted to go to that was in that mall that was physically connected to the hotel that we were all staying in. So we had a lot of freedom there, but also there's a small number of kids, and we're the nerds of the school. Literally, like, Model UN students are not going to be going out and being wild, especially at our school. I don't know about other schools. I know that there was at least one school that was all, like, they were getting drunk in their hotel room. That was interesting. I got invited, and I said no. It was, like, after committee. I'm sorry, this is kind of a tangent, but it was after committee, and this kid was like, it was like, God, it was like 9 or something, because committees ran late, and they were like, hey, if you're going to the delegate dance and you want to pop by my room after, we're all gonna get drunk. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And they were like, okay. It was, like, such a casual thing, and they were just, like, all in the room getting drunk, and it was weird, and I was like, no.
Yeah, like, why would you want to do that on a school trip? Isn't the whole point of going on the trip to experience the thing that you're going to? Like, get drunk in your room at home, I guess, if you're going to. Better yet, like, don't at all. You're underage, that's illegal.
I don't know. But, okay, also, I don't entirely remember if this happened in the first movie, but didn't, like, Lara Jean and Peter literally, like, having sex by themselves. Well, not having sex, but, like, doing it, kind of, almost, in the not bathtub, hot tub, at the ski lodge, on the ski trip, kind of get around the school in a way that teachers would have definitely noticed. And so they definitely know that this kind of group of kids is very clearly sexually active, and a lot of them are in committed relationships, and they're all pretty prone to doing stuff like that on school trips. Do you think that this is a thing that the teachers do not know?
Like, yeah, what I don't get is, if there are rumors of children doing these things, even if the kids think they're so smart and that no one knows, the teachers know. Like, everybody knows what you're up to. Like, there is no way that the teachers do not know about all of the rumors and plans that people have when they go on these trips. Like, it's just not possible to be a teacher and not know about that gossip.
Like, the speed at which our teachers remove the doors in the bathrooms to try to get people to stop vaping shows me that these teachers would not let these kids just wander around New York City by themselves. I'm sorry, and I know that this is not the only thing that happened in the movie that we should be discussing, but still, the lack of chaperones concerns me.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I would be taping their doors so fast.
Just tape them in the room. All around the door.
Oh my god. But honestly, that looked like a hotel that had well, actually no, because it's in New York. If it was a hotel that had balconies, I wouldn't put it past them for crawling from balcony to balcony. I wouldn't put that past any high schoolers.
They all turned into Spider-Man because they're in New York.
And suddenly, this conversation has turned to Spider-Man. If you watch my video, you'll know why that pleases me. Because according to BuzzFeed, we're soulmates, and nobody can tell me otherwise. What else was significant in this movie? Oh, there was her sisters and stuff. Which, I don't know, I think Margot's kind of inconsistent with, stuff that she supports and stuff she doesn't support. There were times when she was, super, yeah, pro-family, yeah, you go dad, you get married, and then other times where she was I don't really like this Trina person. Or then there's moments that's oh my gosh, yes, Lara Jean, I love you, and Peter, and then there were moments where she was but Lara Jean, is he a good influence on your future? And I don't know, she was kind of inconsistent to me.
Yeah, at least going off the first book and the first movie, they definitely did not get her character right. I feel because a lot of the conflict between Lara Jean and Margot isn't necessarily outright one of them saying oh, I don't agree with you. It's more so once Margot leaves for college, Lara Jean is kind of expected to take over the role that Margot had in their family, but she's not Margot, she's just never going to be that person, so that's where a lot of the conflict comes from. It's not so much, would Margot approve of what I'm doing, it's, would Margot do this thing? So I feel as the movies go on, it just becomes, more weird how they try to put in Margot's conflict with everything, because it's she's not a I was about to say a word that does not exist. But she's not actively, working against Lara Jean. She just wants what's best for her. But in the movies, they kind of always try to put in some sort of conflict between the two of them, and it didn't really make any sense.
Yeah, it was... I don't know. And then there's Kitty, who is... she was not as annoying as other characters I've seen from Netflix before. Oh, by the way, just a side note here. Jenna, I'm pretty certain that they're in the works of making a Kissing Booth 3, so you're gonna have to watch the first 2 movies of that as well.
No.
But...
No! Ava!
Anyways, Kitty and her boyfriend from Korea, I was that's kind of, I don't know, Kitty bothered me a lot, and I don't think this random kid from Korea would be super down to just start dating this random girl from where are they from? Oregon? I don't know. I think they're from Oregon. I think I remember them showing a map of them coming home, and it was in the state that I'm fairly sure is Oregon.
I think Oregon.
Okay. Because I don't know, I suck at geography. I can't tell you where things are in the world. That's my downfall of things, I guess. Yeah, no, but there's like, yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say? I thought of something. No, that's a completely unrelated movie that I was just thinking of. In fact, it wasn't a movie at all. It was a TV show.
It's plot
Jenna.
thickens.
Jenna, did you pick up on any soundtracky things?
They used a lot of different songs in this movie. Like, a lot. Like, because I watch everything with subtitles, so it felt like they were putting on a different song, like, every 5 minutes. And I don't know if that's, like, normal movie behavior, rom-com stuff, but I don't know. It just felt a lot more than usual.
Yeah, I see the whole thing with their search for the song, right? It kind of I don't mind Lara Jean hearing the song and being like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of Peter, and then wanting to make that their song. I just didn't like how she just kind of told him, this is our song. You know, like, if I heard a song that I thought was like, this reminds me of me and Peter, yay. Well, not me and Peter. Well, actually. Sorry. If I heard a song that reminded me of me and my significant other, and my significant other was not there at the time, I would then, like, I don't know, try to play it for them in a good moment or something. Like, try to make them feel what I felt hearing it for the first time, not just being like, this is our song, here. And because that's what Peter did at the end. He was like, I need to make a moment of the both of us to this song. Which I respect. Like I said, he is a romantic. I swear to God, there is nothing about this man that is not romantic. So yeah.
I had a thought about Peter, but then it left my brain, and I don't know what that was. But I thought, I guess. Yeah, the song thing was, like, kind of nice, but I feel like this movie was trying very hard to hit all of the boxes of being a rom-com in a very meta way, because even in the movie, they were going through all of the rom-com things, and I was like, but you don't need to do that. It just felt weird and off with the rest of the franchise. I don't know why. I just wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know. The rest of I think it's just difficult for a franchise to be super consistent when your main shtick of your first movie is this fake relationship becomes a real one. And then you're like, oh wait, now my story is about a real relationship being a real one. And then you kind of have this moment of like, hang on, this isn't the same. Because it's like a whole different dynamic, you know? Like they had a completely different, like, will they, won't they kind of dynamic in the first movie, and then afterwards they were all gushy.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt kind of like the same story every time, except beyond the fake dating aspect that was unique to the first movie, that I just wish that they were able to actually move on a little more from the... I don't even know what that would mean, though, because these movies are rom-coms, so I don't even know what you would move on to. So I don't know what I want.
Yeah, that's always been kind of my problem with romance, like, franchises, because I love, like, romance movies. I like hearing little cute romance stories, but I feel like once you get that one story done, like, usually a romance has one story. Like when you ask somebody who's in a relationship, you say, like, and you ask, oh, what's your love story or something, they're gonna tell you usually how they met and how they fell in love, or they're gonna tell you, like, the most poignant moment of their relationship. They have, like, I feel like every great relationship, every great, like, true love thing has one love story and probably a happily ever after. Like that's why there are so many stories that just end with and they all lived happily ever after, because nobody wants to sit around for and then they woke up and they were happy, and then they had this little squabble, and then they made up again. Like, we all know what it's like to just watch people fight and make up and fight and make up and fight and make up and fight and make up for the entire show. Looking at you, Malcolm and Marie, right there.
No.
Let's not. But yeah, so I mean, it's difficult when your main, like, their love story was, oh, you know, I wrote this love letter to him a long time ago, and then he got it and it was an accident, but then we thought, let's fake date for a while to fix our issues, right? And then we eventually got real feelings for each other, and we actually fell in love. That's their love story. And then, you know, they had to shoehorn in these conflicts with, like, the other guy. They had John Ambrose in the second movie, which was like a different conflict, and she was like, she had this trio thing going on.
I feel bad for John Ambrose. He deserved better.
Yeah. And then in the last movie they were just like, college. You know who kind of just vanished that I was kind of confused at? So you know how in the first movie they have Josh, and they're like, this is Lara Jean's best friend since they were children.
Yeah,
they talked about drinking tea together. I thought they were supposed to be best friends.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, where is that other guy who was so important to her life and her family and to Margot? Where did he go? Wasn't he, like, their neighbor?
Like, yeah, I mean, I get that people grow apart, but at least address it. Like, by the end of the first movie, he wasn't there. And he was, like, such a big part to the whole first movie. And I know that they had a fight and everything, but I feel like if somebody is your best friend since you are really young, you shouldn't just forget about this person after you fight. And I know that she has her other best friend, which is Christine. But, like, you can have more than one close friend. Like, come on.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating to me because a whole part of, like, the book was how the letters kind of helped her remember who she was, like, as a child, and let her have closure on that part of her, and the movies kind of just used it as a tool for, like, rom-com, baby. So it was just frustrating to me that, like, they have, like, all this potential to do things, but they were like, no, we must make the audience giggle.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish that, because it's another thing. I've recently been rewatching Jane the Virgin, and amazing show, by the way. Everybody should go watch it. But she was talking about she's writing her romance novel, and her advisor was like, okay, but it needs to have something more to it. Like, there needs to be more than just, like, the romance here. And I mean, I feel like just being mature and rebuilding friendships and moving on, like, that's another thing that could have been put into the movie really well, and they, like, didn't, which was kind of like, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm not much of a romance person. Just me and my preferences, when I choose a story, that's generally not my top pick. Like, when I pick a book, I generally gravitate towards something, like, that has something else going on in the plot. And I don't mind if there's a romance in it, there just has to be something else going on, because, especially if it's a series, I can't really just focus on just a romance for multiple installments. It makes sense if there's a larger plot going on and it takes longer for the romance to happen, or if, because of plot things, the romance isn't, like, fully completed until later. I don't know if that made any sense. But, like, I'm reading a book that is mostly just a romance right now, and I'm really not enjoying it because there's no escape from it, and it's not even all that good anyway. So I'm reading it, and I'm just trying to get through it, but there's nothing else happening, and it's just boring, and that's part of the reason why I wasn't the most excited to watch these movies and read the first book at least, but then I was surprised because I liked the first book because it wasn't just a romance, it had other things happening. But then the movie didn't really do that, and that was a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, so on Valentine's Day, I sat down and I watched 4 movies. One of them I watch every Valentine's Day, and that is Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart. And that movie is a fever dream, and everybody should watch it. But it's okay if you can't. It's on Amazon Prime though, so like go check it out, everybody. Then there was this movie. I watched this one because normally I watch just a bunch of Netflix romance movies. I watched. The other new movie that I watched was The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. That came out on Amazon Prime as well, and that was it was kind of a love story, but also had a lot of other things going on. I thought it was really good. It's like these two people are this main guy is awake in a time loop. So everything else around him is looping the same day over and over again, but he's awake. And then there's this other girl who's also awake, and they over time they grow closer and they fall in love, and it's cute. And then, but there's also other things, this girl is dealing with her own stuff, and he's dealing with his own stuff, and I don't know, it's a good movie, and I think it's a good example of having a love story that's not just a love story. Because, first and foremost, it's a story. Not first and foremost, it's a love story,
Yeah, when you ask someone, tell me a story, there's generally multiple things going on in that story beyond just smooching or whatever.
I also watched WALL-E, which is my favorite love movie. Or, not love movie. Oh my god, I was gonna say love story, and then I started saying romance movie, and I just said love movie.
Love movie.
Anyways, WALL-E, best romance of all time. Yes. You can't change my mind.
No, I agree. WALL-E is a very good love story. It's been a while, so I don't want to confirm that just because it's been a while, but I do agree. I didn't watch anything on Valentine's Day. I went on a college visit.
My gosh, you're actually doing productive things, and here's me just wallowing in my Netflix.
To be fair, there were 3 major assignments I was supposed to do this weekend, and I haven't completed any of them yet.
I think the only I did complete one assignment. I don't think I have anything for math. And then I have history, which I'm gonna do after we're done with this. I don't want to, but I will. Also, now I seem to be upset because I spent 4 hours making cookies for this Valentine's Day thing for a club, and apparently it's not the right day. And I'm really mad because I am so okay, so somebody said it was due tomorrow, and now apparently it's due on another day. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with any of you guys, but I don't know, I'm annoyed. This just happened, I just heard word, and I'm very annoyed.
I feel bad that you went through that whole struggle.
I postponed Jenna 4 times, and I feel bad every time I do postpone Jenna, but I had to.
I don't know why she feels bad, because I'm always the one, the night before trying to make my video, and then I just text Ava a whole bunch of problems that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, it's not a problem when you do that, because, okay, this whole thing, was my idea. So, I feel bad when I postpone you, because I asked you to do this with me.
You see, but I agreed to do this with you. And then I feel bad because you do all of the work. And then I don't do anything.
I don't do all the work. You do a lot of work.
Ava, you edit all of these podcasts. You edit your own videos. you do most of our like marketing to people because I don't talk to people. And you got us on all of these other different platforms, so wherever you're listening to us, you could probably listen to us in 7 different places at the same time, preferably.
I don't know. You
I don't know what
sit
you're
here
talking
and you
about.
tolerate me for about an hour every week, so that's cool.
Well, yeah, I like you, Ava. You're nice.
Okay, speaking of the other platforms, if you're not listening on YouTube, and you have a YouTube and you want to go see our faces sometime, we do videos every weekend, and you can go give us a subscribe. So recently we hit 30 subscribers. Not a big deal, but like kind of a big deal. Also, this is our 20th episode of the podcast, which is a big deal because this has been 20 weeks of us doing this since October. Pretty cool.
Would it be 21? Because I feel like we missed a week there for the holidays.
No, I don't think we did. We posted one.
No, we missed a weekend video, but we did a podcast.
Yeah, we missed a weekend video, but then we doubled up. It was fine. Yeah. We don't let our people down in terms of content. We bring you the best of the best videos every week.
We are 100% consistent with our quality and our scheduling and our discussions. This is like top-notch stuff we got going on here.
Yeah, like we're 100% on topic about the movie that we set out to talk about today.
Okay, well listen, I didn't say that we weren't consistent with our on-brandness. This is on-brand, and therefore we are being consistent right now, Ava.
Yeah, I was pushing the brand this weekend. I said I had to put tangentially related to movies in my title, because they kind of were, I guess. But anyways, to all the boys, I recommend it if you want to watch something for Valentine's Day that's purely just cutesy on Valentine's Day. Like, go ahead, watch it, enjoy yourself, enjoy the cuteness that is Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky. They do a bunch of cute little antics and everything. Hot take. Well, I don't know if this is a hot take. Peter Kavinsky is like the only attractive love interest in these movies out of the different. Well, actually, he's like the only actor that they have, except for like in Kissing Booth and After. In Kissing Booth and After, I really don't see it in either of them. So, Noah Centineo, everybody.
I wouldn't know. I don't really watch many rom-coms. If you say so, I believe you.
I can just send you pictures of them right now.
You know what? I've seen Harden.
Yes, you have. He's ew. Yes. I don't see how people are into that. I don't understand. They had this one scene where he was getting a back tattoo and he had like back knee and everything, and it was like, ew. Why?
And I feel
I
feel like part of it is just because like we both know in some way like what his character is like too. So I don't think that helps anything.
Okay, I'm sending you a picture of the guy who is the love interest in Kissing Booth right now.
Because I can kind of think of the poster right now, but I have avoided the Kissing Booth.
I don't see it. Also, his character isn't very attractive either. I think Peter Kavinsky is like cute. He is charismatic. He does nice things. He's not a jerk. He respects Lara Jean. Sometimes he's a little stupid, but that's fine. Can't win them all. Yeah.
So I'm looking up the picture you sent me.
Yes.
You know those internet generators where you can go on and it's like, this is a photo of a person that doesn't exist because an AI made it, and you're looking at it, and at first you're like, wow, this looks like a normal person, but then the longer you look at it, the less normal it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting when I look at that photo. He doesn't look like a real person. Like, I'm not trying to be mean because, like, I should not be like, I don't really like care like what you look like, but just like for whatever reason that photo specifically just is doing weird things to my mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some airbrushing on his pores and stuff. Like, let's be honest. But either way, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know. I think Peter Kavinsky is better. But I like how you can look up. So his character is Noah Flynn, and you can look up Kissing Booth Noah, and Noah Centineo is the first picture that you get. I don't know, but see, here's the thing. I don't think that Noah Centineo is as cute as he is outside of being Peter Kavinsky. I don't see it as much, which happens a lot with actors, except for certain actors. But that's a different story.
Maybe there's a Noah Centineo extended universe, like the Netflix Christmas one, but they're all different clones of Noah Centineo, so they're all a little bit different. And then there's gonna be a movie where they all show up together. And it's gonna be like someone got body snatched.
Can we Netflix? Can you make the movie where people are where there's this mad scientist just churning out copies of this Noah Centineo character who's gonna go off and do all these different romantic and like shenanigans or everything, or maybe they're like 3 estranged triplets separated at birth, and then they make all of the movies canon. Yes. Do it.
Someone needs to hire us, Ava. We say this every week. Hire us. We have good ideas.
Like, I mean, why make Kissing Booth 3 when you can make the Noah Centineo saga on Netflix?
This is the content we need from the rich right now.
And you know what? If Netflix won't do it, can somebody just make an animated version on YouTube or something?
Even just an animatic, if you don't want to go full out. Like, feed the people something.
Somebody make a comic book of this.
What if someday our podcast, like, blows up and a whole bunch of people watch it? Or will listen to it, I guess. And, like, people actually make these things.
Oh my god, you're jinxing it, Jenna. God.
I said if, and I'll knock on wood, too. There. Can you hear that? I'm gonna imagine you heard that.
Yes, I can hear it. Anyways, guys, I think that this is enough talking about Noah Centineo. Enough talking about his movies. Psh, what movies? No, they don't exist anymore because they are not part of the Noah Centineo saga extended universe. Which is they are worse off for it. I promise you that. But anyways, if you're not listening to us on YouTube, that's highly unlikely because I see the view count. You're probably listening on YouTube. So if you are, subscribe, like it up. If you decide that you like us and you're on YouTube and you want to check out any of the other platforms, go ahead, click the links in the description. Go check us out on those, stream it, make us happy, make us feel wanted in the world. And yeah, so do that. Stay tuned for Jenna's video, which is coming out on Sunday. I don't know what it's about. Jenna,
I don't know what it's about.
Oh, Jenna doesn't know what it's about. But it will come out on Sunday. If in the meantime, you can go watch my train wreck of a video. That one's fun. And yeah, Jenna, anything to add?
Kissing Booth who?
Okay, bye!